Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rines Report. My name is Tristan Blake Rines here on RadioFreeRadford.com. I'm joined once again by my amazing co-host Nicholas Penninger. We have a lot to discuss today, a lot to cover. But before we dive in, make sure to give Radio Free Radford a follow on Facebook and Instagram. You can find them on Twitter at Radio Free Raddy. Be sure to like the Rines Report Facebook page when we go live, post updates, provide the biggest news in sports on a daily basis. So now that I'm done shamelessly plugging social media, let's get into it. What is going on? Well, let's talk about that game real fast, too. That game last night, that legendary Vikings-Rams game.
Yeah, I had the feeling it was going to be a low-scoring thing.
Yeah.
Like, their defenses would show up. I was wrong.
Right?
I know that for a fact. I was checking that score, and I was like... By the time I started paying attention to it, it was like 21-20 or something like that. And I was like...
Yeah, because you were doing some homework or something
before
like that.
halftime.
Right? Yeah,
I was like,
Jared Goff, what did he throw, like...
5 touchdowns, 430-something yards, something like that.
He was having a game.
What? On the Vikings defense, which, by the way, if that means anything anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? The past, few weeks... what's it? My boy Sam, he goes, so the Vikings got negative points on defense and fantasy now. And I was like, that's great, because you have had the best luck this entire season.
And now the Vikings just forget how to play defense.
They don't know how to play secondary anymore, apparently. Like, there was no pass rush last night, and their secondary is just getting destroyed by people.
Again, that Rams offense
It's so nasty.
Like, being destroyed by the Bills is one thing.
Being destroyed by the Rams is justifiable.
But that's how you know, just like you said, any given Sunday. They put up how many points last night against the Rams?
Let me pull up the score real quick.
And they put up 0 against the Bills.
Right.
That's how you know.
It's literally any given Sunday, which is why I didn't take that bet.
Good bet to not take.
I know, right? In hindsight. But no, it was a heck of a game. Todd Gurley put up 21 plus points on just for my fantasy team.
Todd Gurley.
Dude, I love that man.
He's so good.
Oh, you want to hear about this trade I made? Oh, I finally went through.
Did it go through?
It went through.
I think you told me about it already.
So, any listeners out here who are big fantasy football fans are really not gonna like this trade I made, because my team already had Todd Gurley, Ben Roethlisberger, Odell Beckham, T.Y. Hilton, Travis Kelce, solid lineup, right? And I went out and got Saquon Barkley and Josh Gordon. For Russell Wilson, LaShawn McCoy, who's had a terrible season to this point, and Marvin Jones Jr. is pretty good, but
who took that trade?
one of my league mates, obviously. He's actually he's another host on RadioFreeRadford.com. His name's Blake Holmes.
Yeah, I would have vetoed that.
So on his Hot Takes of Holmes page on Twitter, you guys blow him up for that trade.
That was a garbage trade.
But no, they had a game. Like, Robert Woods, Cooks, Cooper Kupp had a heck of a night last night, especially because Goff was killing it, man. There was no one who could stop him.
We know Goff is
solid,
capable of tearing apart a defense. It's just, is he consistent?
It's crazy because his first season he looked terrible.
Yeah,
but then Sean McVay walks in the building.
He was hurt though too, wasn't he?
No, their offensive line was just bad. It was very bad. But ever since McVay's taken over in the last 2 seasons, they've been dirt nasty, the best team in football right now.
That team's so good.
I'd put them above the Chiefs, for sure. I think the Chiefs with Mahomes are just waiting for that.
I think there's still that debate.
I mean, as far as the levels,
who can stop whose offense? That's where my whole
I think
thing
the
is.
Rams would be able to stop that offense. I think so.
Not the way it's playing right now.
Statistically,
right now,
they still put up 5 points less.
Statistically, right now, you can't say anybody could stop that offense. You could say that somebody might be able to stop the Rams' offense, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's any way anybody can.
Well,
say
so far, no one's been able to stop that offense.
Who they play next week?
Who, the Rams?
Yeah.
I think the Rams. Let me find out. Let's see here.
Because I have no idea who they play.
Yeah, because 38-31 was the final score of that game last night. Oh, I'm not getting feedback. Here we
Get
go.
on ESPN here real quick.
Okay, week 4. Let's go to week 5 real quick. Because because you picked the Vikings in an upset, which wasn't a bad pick.
No, it was a good game.
Either way, it was going to be a solid pick.
Yeah.
They have the Seahawks. I'm calling the Rams on that one, too.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Think so. Do you hear supposedly Mike Trout might get a contract
for like $500 million?
Yeah.
It's a stupid amount of money.
I mean, for the most effective baseball player in history.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
He's so good.
It's crazy that you look at guys like the NBA and NFL, and NFL guys want to be NBA player paid, and then baseball contracts are insane.
I think it's player efficiency rating is what they use.
Yeah.
His player efficiency rating is over the last couple years is like 68. The next best guy is like 34.
Wow. What position is he playing?
He's outfield.
Oh, okay.
He's so good.
Really?
Yeah, he's so
I
good.
don't get around to watching a lot of baseball.
Oh yeah, if there's anybody you should watch, because I agree with you, like
because he's was he Hold on, it's Bryce Harper I'm thinking of.
who Angels.
Angels, that's right.
Yep.
I was trying to think for some reason it was either Angels or Cardinals.
He's so good. That's because you got that Albert Pujols confused. Albert Pujols went from the Cardinals to the Angels.
Yeah.
And I forgot how.
Where is he?
Angels.
He's still with them?
Yeah, I forgot how to swing the bat.
Yeah. Because remember he used to be nasty.
He was the scariest.
I remember,
ever.
When I was in like high school, like middle school, whatever. That man was the nastiest baseball player in the league at one
Albert
point.
Pujols? Yeah. Oh yeah, for a good couple years.
Like first base for a while.
He was the most terrifying person ever. Yeah, he's like a DH now because nobody wants an old dude in there playing.
Doesn't need a hitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's, after moving on from the game,
I just think it's important to mention that. If somebody here likes baseball who's listening.
Oh, I mean, the vice president of RFR, Jessie, is listening in. I'm sure she appreciates it. She's a big baseball person.
She's got to know. He's so good.
But now let's move on to what is wrong in New England? Because I have to bring it up. I mean, the resident Patriots fan right here.
What is wrong in New England?
After a weak performance against the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football this past Sunday, the Patriots have been the subject of a lot of chatter. We've seen a lot of this kind of discussion early on in the season, the last couple of years. They played kind of bad in September, then they show up in January. You know what I mean? Like they end up making it regardless. But this, for some reason, feels different, considering that there's no Edelman, that we still haven't seen Gordon on the field, and the defense is just playing extra bad.
Yeah, I was reading something earlier. It was pretty much the gist of it was, why are we just discounting? Because we always do this as people who know the Patriots.
Yeah.
Why do we always just never consider the fact that maybe they're just not as good as they used to be? That just some players, because players can decline.
Yeah.
But why are the Patriots the only team that we never attribute declining players to?
We've seen the consistency out of Tom and Bill for 20 years almost. You know what I mean?
But
so it's a regular thing.
Giselle knows all Tom can do is throw it. He can't throw it and catch it.
Yeah.
And Bill can only talk so much. He can't play the game.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a lot of lack of execution going on both sides of the ball. Receivers can't separate, and the defense can't get after the quarterback. That's been the thing for the last few years, is there's no pass rush.
And there's really not even a... That's the funny thing, again, about the Patriots, is that for some reason we always attribute something that we don't know to them. We know what's wrong with their offense. We know what's wrong with their defense. So why are we talking about Bill Belichick? Why are we assuming it's Bill Belichick's fault? Why are we assuming it's...
Because the calls for personnel come down to him.
Well, how many, like...
In my opinion, I feel like there are more effective pass rushers on the team that could make a difference.
Let's say the Cowboys. Who's the Cowboys coach? Jason Garrett still?
Yeah.
Okay. Their offense is not good.
Terrible.
We don't blame Jason Garrett.
Blame Dak Prescott.
Blame Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Or having no Des Bryant. Or Zeke's out of shape. Those are real reasons.
Yeah.
The real reason is not it's the coach's fault. Why do we do that with Belichick? Why do we blame him for problems? Why can't his players just stink?
I feel like this is definitely much more of a recent thing. Ever since the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles, it's been a lot more focus on, all right, how is Bill handling the situation currently? The lack of pass rush, the poor defensive play on all levels, really. The receivers not being able to separate. Because you see Josh McDaniels screaming at the offense, like, what is going... Like, there's a lot of frustration out of the offense, because the receivers are just bad. I don't think Tom Brady, first off, trusts the receivers.
Have no run game.
Yeah, well, if you simplify it down to, all right, they're going to give it to the running backs, then all you have to do is just account for that on the occasion, then you stop it enough.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Detroit did. And the Lions knew exactly how to expose it, considering their head coach is the former defensive coordinator, but even still. Mm-hmm. This Patriots team, as of right now, is probably the most... What's the word I'm looking for here?
Out of whack. Inconsistent.
Very inconsistent team right now. And I have no confidence going into this game against Miami. I don't.
I think you should.
It's in Foxborough is like the only part of that I feel confident about.
I think you should have faith going into it, because Miami will find a way to botch it. They always do.
Yeah, they're the best team in the division at the moment.
And it's just like...
But they're just one or two losses away from being back to Miami of old times. You know
it's just like where people talk about the Vikings game against the
Bills, yeah.
Everybody lays an egg.
Mm-hmm.
Every team does bad. And the Patriots are actually pretty well known for doing bad to begin with.
Yeah.
They're slow starters. You guys have always been that way.
Yeah.
I saw an article, it was pretty funny. It was listed it was named, "The Patriots stink so far, so they're definitely going to win the Super Bowl."
Yeah.
Like,
the last 3 seasons, they've been to the Super Bowl or at least close, and have all started off bad in September.
Right, and Bill has always had not a ton of talent. Mm-hmm. The Patriots are never, ever, 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 ever.
And that
the most talented team.
I see a lot of frustration out of Sam Montana. He was the former co-host right before you came back. Good guy, big Patriots fan. So we talk a lot, and he's like, "Why you have all this cap room and we don't ever spend any money?" It's like, well, I don't really think I think there could be more talent, yes, but it comes down to coaching at a certain point, and it comes down to execution at a certain point too.
I mean,
think there are some coaching
gets paid
moves
on your team. Who gets paid
the most?
Yeah,
I mean, besides Tom, it's Stephon Gilmore. Gronk's getting paid a good chunk. I can't remember every.
So not a lot.
There's not a lot.
You can afford a big player.
Dante Hyde, yes, the Patriots do have the cap room to make like another move if they.
But
really
Bill's
wanted
never
to.
going to do that.
They're just such a very slow
Team.
cap.
Team oriented, not player oriented.
Yes.
Because the only person who is player oriented is smart enough to know the team is more important than the player, which is Tom Brady.
Yeah, which is why he's given pay cuts.
Exactly. When you know if he were to lead the Patriots.
But no, Cowherd made a good point a while back too. I think it was like maybe a week or two now. But he makes a point where he's like, well, you look around and you see guys like Carson Wentz getting all these talented guys around him. Jared Goff, of course. And I understand they're on rookie contracts. But you see like Kirk Cousins, a number of other players in the league. Even Big Ben without the Le'Veon Bell situation, getting all these really talented guys around them. And you're taking pay cuts. And who do you have around you?
Yeah, exactly. Who are they? That's what I'm saying.
Which is why I don't blame Tom for being frustrated.
Yeah, who are they paying?
Exactly.
Who are they bringing in? Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
What are they paying him?
Nothing. They're not even paying him $1 million this season.
I was gonna say 850, something close to that.
790.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. Because I agree. He's taking pay cuts. It's not like you're Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Going to the Warriors, taking a pay cut so that you can live with legends. It's not like you're DeMarcus Cousins.
And he's still making, by the way, $23 million a season.
Which is nothing.
Kevin Durant.
Which is nothing for Kevin Durant.
Because how much is LeBron making 30-something now on the 4-year contract for the Lakers? It's a stupid amount of money.
What's the biggest? Who
You
makes
can
the
go
most in
look
the
that
NBA?
I would say it's probably LeBron.
It's got to be someone like James.
But no, the
Harden,
Patriots, they play bad in September. They end up showing up in January. But Sam's been expressing his worry. He's like, dude, you would say that they're the 1-6, they can still make the playoffs. And I'm like, that's not true. If you start off 1-3, it's slim statistically, but it's not impossible that the Patriots are going to make the playoffs. Because the Patriots by week 7,
your division is
if by week 7,
the Dolphins, the Bills,
and the Jets.
Yeah, you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Worst happens, you'll get a wild card, and if you put Tom Brady in a wild card, he's going to destroy whoever gets in front of him. So
As long as he's hot.
Yeah.
But no, think about it. Because 1-3, we saw the Giants do it twice and win Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Like there have been.
You did see it.
Yeah.
It happened right in front of your face.
Yeah. It's not impossible. If we start 1-6, they're not making the playoffs. They don't deserve to win a championship.
The highest paid player in the NBA is Stephen Curry.
Oh, is he? How much is he making a season?
Thank God, too, huh?
Yeah, it makes sense.
He's so good. 34-7.
Wow. I wonder how much he makes after taxes.
Not a lot. Number 2 is LeBron, 33-3. Number 3 coming in is Paul Millsap.
Really?
4, Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward's making the 4th most? Wow.
Gordon Hayward's making...
He's making... I remember we signed...
29 mil a season.
I remember the Celtics signed him to a good contract, but dang, that's a lot of money. Blake Griffin's still making that much money?
He's good.
He's kind of dropped off the map since going to Detroit.
I mean, not production-wise.
No?
No, but he's no longer on America's team.
The Clippers?
Yeah.
But
Gordon Hayward dropped off the map, too, ever since going to the Celtics. I mean,
he had an injury.
What happened to that guy? What, did he get hurt or something?
Broke his ankle the first game of the season.
Destroy his... It's so sad.
The Celtics are going to... We can talk about
What's
the Celtics
with Boston?
after that.
What's with Boston and losing their best player on the first day?
I have no idea.
Brady.
Years ago?
Now
yeah.
Hayward.
No, Hayward's not the best player on that team.
The good thing is that Boston's baseball team, you guys don't have a best player. You have a best every player in every position. Have you seen their record?
What is it now? Like
oh my lord! I don't even want to talk about it. It's gonna hurt me to look at it. It's something crazy. Hold on, I just
hold on to that though, because you're steering off. You're steering off. I'm just trying to get to this Patriots.
107-52. They're so good. All right, keep going.
I'm happy.
Oh, the Red Sox are so filthy.
I'm just trying to stay on course.
The amount of money they're paying, though, they better be filthy.
Hopefully. Let's see. But what I'm trying to say is week 5, Edelman will be back. Josh Gordon will be playing at that point. I'm pretty sure he'll play this week. Although I have no reason to say that he will, but I think he could play this week.
What about his hamstring?
That hamstring?
He destroyed that thing.
The Jawan Bentley, he was killing it. He was probably the best player on the defense. The rookie out of Purdue or Vanderbilt. Purdue. He's out for at least 8 weeks on IR. Rex Burkhead the same. They don't have any receiving options, which I've already said. I don't think Tom trusts Patterson or Dorsett, really. I think he wants to trust Dorsett, but Patterson has actually looked a lot more incompetent than I wanted him to play.
Yeah.
Because you would think he'd be great. Because he's fast, he's big, he can make catches, but he has not been able to actually get any trust, get his footing, literally, slipping on trying to get first downs against the Jaguars. You know what I'm talking about.
Slipping, trying to get first down.
Chris Hogan's trying to do his best Edelman impression. It's not working. But I'm telling you, by week 7, I think the Patriots are back to form.
When does Ed come back? When does Edelman come back?
Week 5. Against the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football.
You'll need him there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't go out there and do some more steroids.
We have no idea what the substance was. That's the thing.
I'll tell you what it was. It was steroids. Did you hear the story about how he broke that girl's arm?
No.
After the Super Bowl?
No.
He went and arm wrestled a girl at a Harvard party and snapped her arm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He broke her
Jesus.
forearm at a house party. Edelman! Julian!
Where did you find that story?
That was right after the Super Bowl. I remember it came out.
51?
Hold on. Keep moving forward. I'll try to find it.
I'm trying to.
Sorry.
We are so unorganized today. I have a whole script worth of notes. He's looking at them, and I still have no idea what's going on here.
Where are we even at?
We're on Le'Veon Bell now. Well, I was gonna segue into it, but you keep bringing up like other Boston sports things, getting me excited.
Because you have to know this. Report: Edelman rages at Harvard.
Look, we'll take a second here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very curious. What year was the story? I can't remember.
2016.
So this was after 51. Of course, I'm honestly.
Did Danny? Oh, maybe it was Danny Amendola.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't be surprised by Danny either. But Edelman's.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was Amendola.
Do you remember the year?
2015. 2015. Did Danny Amendola break female student's arm while arm wrestling during a party at Harvard? The answer's yes.
Well, do you remember the one with Edelman where he went to some like college party or something like that after the Super Bowl or whatever, and the girl was taking pictures of them after they were like doing a thing. It was like, I think this is the receiver for the Patriots.
Friggin' Edelman. He's just sitting there, eyes all bloodshot.
After taking a few good licks during the game.
Tipster revealed the Patriots wide receiver. Somebody had an anonymous tip from a Harvard party. Wide receiver Danny Amendola may have broken a female student's arm during the party. No video or evidence of the arm wrestling match exists.
Oh my goodness.
But the tipster said that he heard that it happened. The quote was, some chick challenged Amendola to arm wrestle and he cranked her so hard he literally broke her arm.
Who wrote that?
This is a tip, an anonymous tip. I died laughing.
No. What news source is it, though?
Oh, this is complex.
Complex?
I died laughing when I heard, and I figured this kind of nonsense must be known on the internets. I don't have proof other than an image this Boston University girl sent me that I'll attach. The photo looks like this.
Let me see it. I'll try to describe it the best. Yeah, it's definitely a broken arm. Thanks, Amendola. # Niners Nation.
Oh, boy. Speaking of broken and destroyed things from Niner Nation.
Oh, no. I feel so bad for Jimmy.
Why? It was all his fault.
Oh, no, it was. I just feel bad because the guy's good. He's.
How good is he?
I think he's good enough that they're.
How good is he when he sidesteps inbounds, surrounded by defenders? Where was he going? What was he thinking?
I have no idea.
What kind of magic was
he was doing young quarterback things. That's why.
He had some. It's so
Dude,
sad.
You know what's crazy? It's even right after that hit. What's his name? Nelson, I think, was the safety who just came over and clobbered him on the sideline.
Jacked him.
Because he takes the step to try to put his shoulder down, and upon doing that step is when he lifted his leg off.
Kind of wobbles.
That safety comes over and just adds insult
Which
to
he should.
And just smacks him. You can see Jimmy like on the card afterwards, and he's just like, he just looks so mad.
He had so much magic in his head that he was planning there. He was like, I'm going through.
Yeah, I'm gonna
juke their whole defense.
Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna lead them to a win over the. Dude, that wasn't even a bad game up to that point either. That's the thing. It wasn't a horrible game.
You know
the Chiefs were gonna win, but it wasn't a horrible game.
You know when they're run. You know when you're running, you catch a football.
Yeah.
And you're going Randy Moss, and like Moss, but nothing happens. You know Garoppolo is running, going Vic, Michael Vick. I'm gonna do this. Crank. My knee gave out. Maybe you shouldn't have been running inbounds.
What is he making? Like what was it? Like a 5-year, $100.
Yeah, not as much as I make. He's making a lot. They gave a
stupid amount of money.
The question was do they go get another quarterback?
Well, they have C.J. Beathard, who wasn't terrible last year.
Yeah,
he's a solid backup.
Yeah, you take the L. At this point, you dive a season.
Yeah, go get somebody else in the draft this year in the offseason. Because apparently they have a ton of money still. They're like second.
Who else do they have?
Exactly. They have Richard Sherman.
Oh,
They still have a bunch of. They have a bunch of solid like rookie contracts on the defensive line with Armstead. They still have Buckner, Solomon Thomas. Mm-hmm. I mean, otherwise their offensive line, they have Joe Staley. They paid Jerick McKinnon, but he messed up his knee, tore his ACL. Matt Breida is about to play himself into a contract with them, though. He had a game last week.
Yeah.
Speaking of running backs, because we're terrible at transitions. Le'Veon Bell trade rumors. Dude, the Steelers were listening to the show last week. I guarantee it.
I know. As soon as we talk about
the next day,
gotta get rid of him. Gotta get rid of him or pay him.
Dude, Tristan said so. We gotta get rid of him.
Gotta get rid of him. Get him out of there.
No. Yeah, money issues. He turned out an $80 million extension over the offseason. Has yet to even enter the facility since the playoffs last year. I don't think he's gonna come back this season at this rate. James Conner's actually playing well
I think he comes back.
You think he comes back when? At what point do you think?
I think he gets. There's a couple options. Conner gets hurt, and at that point,
who do they have as their backup after that?
At that point, Le'Veon is like leveraged in like crazy.
He is, but the Steelers also realize that. Let's say it's not even a big injury though. Let's say he.
I'm looking at the what's it called?
I'm pulling up the Steelers depth chart. Let's say Conner just goes down for like a week. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that crazy, and they just bring him back anyway.
But are you banking on James Conner being your running back? Because that's kind of ridiculous.
He's looked really good so far. Why not? He's young. He's still on a rookie contract. He's not making a ton of money, and is playing his heart out.
You know when you just feel something versus not feeling something? I don't feel James Conner doing anything more than we expect him to do than he's doing right now. It's like you know most people just don't have that feeling about Jameis. Like people are just like keep Fitzpatrick.
They have Jalen Samuels and Stevan Ridley. Steven. I remember when he used to be a 1,000-yard runner and then fumbled the ball against the Ravens.
I was gonna say too, if the 49ers, because we were talking about this, if the 49ers get the second pick, they can get Jonah Williams from Alabama. Offensive tackle.
They could.
That helps.
Do you think that they go the route of? But they have Nick Bosa and Ed Oliver right there, though.
Well, yeah, but
Nick Bosa is apparently even better than Joey.
Their defense is fine, and Joe Staley's 34.
Yeah. I mean, they could trade down and get somebody as well, and then still get that tackle, probably like the 5th or 6th spot. It's possible. There's still a lot of football left to play, but I'm just saying that it's not impossible.
Yeah, but the good thing is there's a lot of.
I also don't think they're going to lose more games than the Bills.
There's a lot of good offensive tackles in the draft this year.
I guess
But then there's Nick Bosa. Did Nick Bosa just get hurt though?
I don't know.
Yeah, Nick Bosa just went down.
I can look it up.
I'm pretty sure Nick Bosa just went down. I was checking this because we were talking about if there is injuries, this will also help us in any further discussion about possible injuries, because this is a good year to switch your quarterback.
Oh, yeah, he did get hurt. Wow.
Mm-hmm. This is a good year to switch your quarterback.
Who for any team that's bad?
Any team that is not necessarily
all in,
locked in on their quarterback. The Jaguars,
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. Except I think that's ridiculous. I'll take Jameis over Blake Bortles any day.
Oh, I would too. But I'm talking. Fitzpatrick's having a game
because the way they're doing
having a season.
The way they're doing the mock draft right now, which actually looks about accurate. The first team that could actually get a quarterback is going to be the Chargers at 22.
Really?
Yeah. Look.
I think the Chargers could actually use a quarterback.
Yeah.
Too, because Philip Rivers is only going to play for so long.
What's his name did this? Cowherd mentioned this. How many bad teams have quarterbacks right now? Cardinals have a quarterback. 49ers have a quarterback.
Jets
Bills
have a quarterback.
Have a quarterback. Jets have a quarterback.
Browns.
Raiders have a quarterback. Seahawks, Colts, Lions, Cowboys, maybe.
The Cowboys might actually go get someone. If Dak Prescott cannot break 200 yards more than 3 times this season.
Texans, Browns,
Or at least.
Redskins, Giants, maybe.
The Giants should. The Chargers should. The Steelers don't need to. They got Mason
Bengals, no.
Rudolph.
Titans have one. Buccaneers, maybe.
The Titans barely, though, man.
Panthers have one. Dolphins have one.
Barely.
Ravens have one. Right, but
Tannehill's okay.
Do they have other needs that are more
pressing?
pressing?
Yes. I think they could go out and get like another defensive end. They could go and get... I mean, their offensive line's actually pretty solid. They just need some more weapons.
Justin Herbert, the Oregon quarterback, is right now listed to be the number 1 QB in the draft.
Who's the kid out of Mizzou?
And then they think that Drew Lock. That's who they think the Jaguars are going to get
Drew Lock.
to replace Big Bortles.
They just re-signed Bortles too. It's like a $48 million contract or something.
He has one of the lowest ceilings
Oh yeah.
I've ever seen.
What pick did he go? Like 3 that year at a UCF?
Yes, but I think we went over this one. I think that Blake Bortles was the, it wasn't like they gave up. It was pretty much like Andrew Luck RG3. They didn't give up. He might have been in that draft.
No.
2014?
It was like the year after that, I'm pretty sure.
Because
Because that was the year that it was like Deion Jordan, Eric Fisher.
Oh wait, no, Blake Bortles was the Derek Carr
draft. Yeah,
draft. There you go. They messed up.
that wasn't a very good draft. I remember. That was like the one with Eddie Lacy. Like I said, Deion Jordan, Eric Fisher hasn't been that great.
And it wasn't a good one for quarterbacks either because it wasn't a good one if you were looking for a quarterback in the middle because all of the top teams in the draft needed quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So they kind of got stuck with Blake Bortles. It was Clowney went. Oh no, they did not get stuck with Blake Bortles.
Who else was there?
Nobody.
They kind of did then.
Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater, which you could imagine.
Johnny Manziel was the same draft, wasn't he?
So was Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo went second round that year. But the reason why Garoppolo didn't go high was because he went to a smaller school, Eastern Illinois.
But then other than that, there was Clowney, Greg Robinson, Bortles, Sammy Watkins, Khalil.
Greg Robinson should have been so good. I loved Greg Robinson. Greg Robinson. I loved him coming out of Auburn.
That was a filthy defensive
Draft.
Khalil Mack, Anthony Barr, Aaron Donald, Ryan
Clowney?
Shazier, CJ Mosley, Jadeveon Clowney, Clinton Dix,
That's a good defensive draft.
DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah, that was a good. And then you got
draft.
Jarvis way down. And Devontae Freeman in the 4th.
Yeah.
Telvin Smith, 5th rounder.
That's right, because Nick is a Jaguars
I'm a Jaguars fan. I hate the Raiders.
fan. Except for Derek
But
Carr.
I love me some Derek Carr. What are we at now? Let's get back on track here.
Yeah, we go off track so
like
often.
a train.
Let's see. Le'Veon Bell trade rumors. I'm just going to skip through this one a little bit because we've gotten over it, and
We don't
it's just
know.
a matter of if it's going to even happen at all.
Yeah.
But where do you think he would go? Because I've got 5 teams sitting right in front of me. I think that could actually do it, and I think there's a few then that would sign him long term just because they got him.
Well, we talked about the Colts are the most obvious.
I think the Colts. I think the Jets have. Well, the Jets have expressed interest. That's public.
Jets need offensive weapons to go
Yeah.
with Sam Darnold.
They need receivers back.
Darnold. Well, you have the best running back and best receiver combined in the same person, Le'Veon Bell.
Exactly.
That's his argument, at least.
The Jets, I get the Niners. I think it's more like a long-term thing, too. Considering Jimmy just got hurt, I don't know if he'd be so excited to go there currently. But if he wanted to go, they could build that team and just keep getting better and better. Indianapolis, I don't know. I doubt the Steelers would trade him inside the division. But for some reason, Cleveland's always trying to pick people up, or they always seem like a trade candidate.
Yeah, I don't think he goes to Cleveland.
I don't think so either.
It'd be cool, though.
It would be, but I doubt it's going to happen. You don't want to have Bell playing you again the same season.
The internet is saying...
I would say Green Bay.
The Eagles are sleeper teams around.
Can they afford to get him, though?
How scary would that offense
It'd be terrifying, but could they afford it?
As
far as I know...
The most recent rumors are Eagles a sleeper team.
Because people keep
They
trying
just
to...
got Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
Who's filthy.
Yeah. Corey Clement's not bad. Wendell Smallwood's not bad at all.
What did they ever get for Jay Ajayi? A bag of Doritos?
They sent them like a 3rd-round pick.
And a pack of cigarettes for Jay Ajayi. For someone, it's not like he was in a slump. He
wasn't playing bad at all.
Oh, he didn't like the coaching staff though in Miami, right?
Yeah, it was like Adam Gase. I was not a fan.
That's right. I remember.
And they traded him because they wanted. It's fine. They wanted guys that were all in on the Dolphins system at the time, and the Dolphins even still aren't like necessarily a team that you want to be on.
It's too bad Jarvis left there.
But let's touch
the
on
Redskins, the Packers. Packers were a good one. Packers were good.
I could see the Skins.
They just gave Adrian Peterson though, and he's playing well.
He is, but he's like a 1-year kind of thing because they had. Well, the reason why I also didn't think too heavily on Washington is because they have Darius Geis coming out next season. And he had an ACL this year. It's really unfortunate, but he is projected to be their guy.
Whatever happened to the Patriots
With the Le'Veon Bell thing?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's going to happen.
No, because the Steelers are going to hand over the AFC.
Yeah, if they do that, yeah. I don't think it would happen. I also think that the Patriots don't want to do that because they don't want to. They have a history. They just don't like paying guys. Unless your name's Darrelle Revis, most recently, they don't like paying you. What?
Alshon Jeffrey for Le'Veon Bell.
They don't need him.
Who doesn't need him?
The Steelers.
They wouldn't mind him.
I don't think they would mind, but
because in that scenario you have to get rid of Le'Veon. Like in the scenario,
if you give Alshon Jeffrey and like a 3rd-round pick, I could see it.
For Le'Veon?
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Ben would be hyped. Ben would be jazzed.
Me picking up Ben Roethlisberger would be the smartest move of all time.
Ooh, Alshon. Because Alshon's hurt, so they could say, hey, he's hurt.
Yeah.
But what are the chances Le'Veon even wants to continue playing for us?
Yeah.
Because you never know with Le'Veon. He very well might just be trying to finish out the season with another team and then pick up
another contract. That's the thing.
What's he on right now? What contract is he
on? He's on a franchise tag.
So if he gets traded right now...
Well, this is why Green Bay kind of makes sense, too. Because it's not that Green Bay doesn't have the money, I don't think. It's that if he wanted to go somewhere that's going to win a championship, possibly this season, he could go to Green Bay, fill in, because they have... Who's their consistent running back? Jamal Williams, Ty Montgomery?
That team's not winning a championship.
No?
No, that team's not
Unless
good.
they hit that stride.
That team's not good. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, but it's one of those...
the team around him is
that
just
team
not
is
functioning.
not good at all. I can name you probably 10 teams better than the Packers, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah.
That's pretty sad.
So far, at least. There's still a lot of football left to play this season.
That's true. But it's what
but
Aaron
that's
Rodgers
the thing is like when Sam and I
we
have conversations, it's like, dude, you're counting your chickens way before they're ready to hatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, barring any injury. But again, for the Packers,
you have Aaron Rodgers literally limping still.
You need wins in the beginning because in the middle, when he inevitably gets hurt, you need a backup to be able to win you 2 or 3 games and still keep you in the playoffs for Aaron Rodgers to show up.
If they could even get that far.
Because they're already losing.
Yeah, considering that the Bears and the Vikings are both having solid seasons. I mean, the
Khalil Mack is having
the Vikings are an 0-2 of the last 2 weeks, but I can still see the Vikings winning that division. The Bears' offense is just without Jordan Howard. There's no offense.
Yeah, and also how much longer do the Bears?
The Lions also don't look
stay in.
Nah, they need some consistency. What?
How much longer do the Bears stay in on Mitch Trubisky?
I think at this point
2 more years.
They're gonna keep playing him for like another season. That's it. Like if he keeps what they gave up to get the guy too.
Oh yeah, unnecessarily.
Yeah, he was a pick ahead of him. I think the reason why they gave up so much because the Niners were bluffing.
Exactly.
Probably that other people were trying to move up to get Mitch.
There was tell the Bears when they call in
that we have
we want that pick.
We had the Browns on the line trying to get Mitch Trubisky or something.
Nobody wanted Mitch Trubisky. Everybody, remember when that trade happened?
I remember talking about this. I remember talking about the guy because I was like, well, he looks okay in college, playing at UNC. He seems accurate, but he seems to underthrow. Mm-hmm. Like there's not a dart that he has. It's more of just like it's a nice lob and it looks pretty.
Right.
But I didn't see that high grade potential a lot of people seem to think was there.
No,
who knows? He could surprise us all. I mean, I've been wrong before. I thought Doug Peterson wasn't going to be a great coach for the Eagles. I was clearly wrong.
I thought Deshaun Watson was going to dominate. I was right, and now I'm wrong.
Now you're wrong. Yeah. Who knows? The guys.
That's Bill. That's on Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
We can get into that later, but that's on Bill O'Brien.
I mean, there's no such thing as a structure to this show until the last 10 minutes where we do picks. If you wanted to talk about Deshaun Watson. All I wanted to talk about was...
Yeah, keep going. You pick your things.
All right.
I got your back. I got your back.
We have no order to this show.
You talking about Bake now or the Chiefs?
We all know the Chiefs are nice.
Ooh. Let's just skip it, but let's do that with a caveat.
We'll do that during the picks.
Pat Mahomes is filthy.
Yeah, that's really all we got to say.
Star.
Yep, he's a beast.
Star, asterisk.
I'm just scared they're going to have a drop-off after, like, week 6.
I'm not. There's too much.
I think he's a lot better than Alex Smith.
I think one or two players. You're afraid the Chiefs' offense is going to drop off, or Mahomes?
I think the offense will drop. Like, I think that it's just been the trend over the last few years that they play really hot right out the gate, and then they just drop off the face of the earth. That's exactly what happened last year.
I agree.
And Alex Smith was having an MVP season.
But I think there's too much talent. I think one person...
There was a lot of talent last year.
I think one person... Yeah, but they're playing way better this year. They're playing well last year, but
they were playing incredibly well last year.
Right. Mahomes, even if he starts to struggle...
People thought they were going to win the freaking Super Bowl last year.
I don't think... they're Super Bowl favorites right now.
They are.
Until they lose.
I'm not saying that they aren't capable. All I'm saying is that we know last year that they were Super Bowl favorites by, like, week 6, and then they fell to the face of the earth, and they finished the season, 8-8? Barely made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, like, it's still the first 3 weeks. That's the whole thing. Is you still have to remember there's 14 weeks left of football, and there's 13 games left.
You better think about that before you ask this next question.
What? Is Baker Mayfield the real deal?
Tristan, there's a lot of football left to play.
There is a lot of football left to play.
The answer is no. He's played one game.
Yeah.
You agree?
He's played a game. And he had a good game.
Against
the Jets.
He
had a good game.
My grandmother's never even watched a football game.
And she knows the Jets are bad.
She knows. If I say, the Jets, she'd go, they stink. I'd go, correct. Yeah.
But
who do they play next?
He looks solid, though. Like, you watched the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He made throws better than Terod.
Yeah, absolutely. And in pressure, too.
Yeah.
Getting hit.
To me, he looked a lot more confident. He looked like... As soon as he walked on the field, Browns fans were like, oh, there's a chance we're going to win this game.
They play Oakland next?
Yep.
Oh, I hope they open up a can.
I really do, too.
I hope they crack it open.
I want to see Baker have a game, man. Because I think he has the potential. He looks good
he does
so far. And I'm saying it with that preference. With that preface. Yes, he looks good so far. Well, we don't know. I mean, Sam Darnold looked good against the Lions, but then the Lions just beat the Patriots. You know what I mean? By the logic, the Browns beat the Jets, and the Jets beat the Lions, and the Lions beat the Patriots. So that means the Browns are better than the Patriots. Right now, I mean,
now the Browns are better than the Patriots.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
Because their offense has at least had one good game, and their defense is
actually playing solid.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I don't know how much credit I give them. You stink for that long.
Eventually,
all you have to do is not botch your picks. Which, by the way, they still botched a couple
for years.
Johnny Manziel.
This was the third. Baker Mayfield's the 30th quarterback, I believe, since 1999. You hear what he said when they were like, "Hey Baker, how's it feel to be the 30th quarterback for the Browns?" He was like, I don't care."
He cares.
No, I mean, like, not. He doesn't care about the idea that you're just the next guy. No, he's
no,
like,
yeah, no. But
the way it goes is like, I don't care that I'm this number. It's just I'm here to win games.
To a certain point, though, it really has to, because we all know that a mindset has everything to do with a game. Mm-hmm. For example, like
I mean, he can let it fuel him, or he can let it.
Yeah, I mean, but let's say even if you're not religious, when you watch things like the Ray Allen shot,
yeah,
you have to wonder. You're like, okay, something's going on here. Something is meant to
be
happening.
David Tyree catch.
Right, you're like something,
or the Mario Manningham catch.
Something here, or the Malcolm Butler
interception. Yeah,
you have to sit there and go. If everybody, these professional coaches, knew not to do something, but they managed to do it anyway and ruin a game, something has to be destined to happen. And you have to wonder that has to play into being the Browns quarterback.
Like eventually.
You go out there, and if you start to do bad, you're like, oh. Or like Fitzpatrick. Like Fitzpatrick, when he starts throwing picks, no matter how smart or how powerful his brain is, he sits there going, am I really doing this again?
Yeah.
And it affects him. Same thing with whoever ends up taking Tom Brady's spot.
Yeah.
Whoever becomes the new Patriots quarterback, the second they start to mess up,
I had to follow Tom Brady.
they're going to go, man, everyone's going to wish I was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
There's going to be all these doubts about me. So I think that Baker Mayfield...
Which is, yeah.
I think they've had a lot of really talented quarterbacks, the Browns, but they all fell under that. I'm terrified.
Because I'm in the
Brady Quinn was a pretty good quarterback. Derek Anderson was a pretty good quarterback. Jeff Garcia was a pretty good quarterback. Johnny Manziel is a pretty talented quarterback. He's pretty, he
was very talented.
He was
very talented at Texas A&M.
Baker is a very good quarterback. So, but at what point does he not do great? Because you have nothing to lose in the scenario he was in. He came in down. Had they lost that game,
it would have been.
You're not going to blame Baker. Yeah. It's Tyrod's fault. So,
or like Josh Rosen.
And just like they were saying on any talk show, you need to game plan for a quarterback. Yeah. And now that they're going to game plan for Baker, if he comes out,
see.
If he has a next game,
the only tape you really have on Baker is his college tape.
Which the only tape from him in college is him
killing people,
grabbing on his crotch.
He's a dominating force.
He's so good. No, what was his number? Like 42 and like 42 touchdowns, 6,
something like that.
Something
he was
crazy.
Stupid accurate, man. People like trying to compare quarterbacks, right? And if I had to compare him to anybody ceiling wise, I'd actually compare him to Russell Wilson. Yes. I think he has a ceiling similar to Russell Wilson where he is pretty much carrying the team.
Which is a pretty high ceiling. Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl.
Yeah. He's an MVP candidate kind of guy. I really like Russell Wilson.
That team stinks.
Because other people try to compare him to Drew Brees, whereas I think Josh Rosen's ceiling is like a Drew Brees-esque.
Well, I think Drew Brees compared him to Drew Brees. That's where that comparison came from.
Who?
Drew
Baker?
Brees. Yeah, Drew Brees said he could be like me, but better, which is
good praise.
A ridiculous thing to say.
Because Drew Brees is...
You've never seen the young man play, and Drew Brees is by far...
One of the best quarterbacks.
One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately...
Where do you put Drew Brees if you want to put him on your top 10?
That's a tricky one. Are we doing... Because the conversation is always talent or success. The Dan Marino syndrome.
Yeah. Because Dan Marino was probably the most talented quarterback to ever play the position, but he wasn't very successful.
Because you can argue that Dan Marino, if Dan Marino had been in Tom Brady's shoes, he might have succeeded more. You could argue.
I think if you
put Dan Marino's talent in Tom Brady's body with that brain...
or Peyton's.
I think Peyton's an anomaly. I think...
no one else has a forehead that big. Like... That's definitely.
I actually feel bad for people who didn't grow up watching football when we did. Do you remember the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning?
Dude, those were some great games.
The Patriots Colts games?
Especially down the road. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, it was all Tom.
I think people really forget
how great
those matchups were.
Yeah,
because you very rarely saw.
You saw them in the playoffs, and those were always great games, except for like the very early ones.
They were like Super Bowl games. You know, every Super Bowl, no matter how far you take apart how good the teams are, only 1 out of every 10 is a boring Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like the Broncos, Seahawks,
or the Broncos and the Niners.
But somehow, again, back to the mindset, they elevate.
Yeah.
Their games those were always amazing.
Yeah.
Always.
They were always the game to watch. The Sunday night football game, the Thursday night.
When you saw Peyton come out there calling 17 audibles, and he'd score, and you'd go, "Oh man, this is game over." And then Tom Brady come out and call no audibles
and just
run down the field, and you're like, "Uh-oh, what's Peyton gonna do?" And he calls 15 more audibles, drives the field. You're
kicks a field goal. Then Tom goes on the field, scores a touchdown.
With not terrible defenses, mind you. It's important to mention that.
They were solid defenses for a long time.
Just Brady.
The Broncos' defense, when Peyton was with them, was stupid scary.
Yeah.
Which is what took him... Which is what... Like I don't typically root...
and he had...
or against the Broncos.
Had Wes Welker and Demarius Thomas. I hate the Broncos.
At the time, I was like, screw the Broncos, man. They're just so good. But when it came to being Peyton's last season and they made the playoffs and they beat the Patriots, I was like, all right, I'll root for Peyton.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those times where it's bigger than just like your petty rivalries.
Exactly.
It's like if this was Tom's last season and he said it during the playoffs. It's like, unless you hate Tom Brady, which there are a lot of people who just do.
What?
Like, how do you not enjoy the game? That's a separate conversation. At a certain point, it's like, I kind of want to see this guy walk out with another ring.
Well, like you know me, I like the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm a big I'm not a Panthers fan, but I support the Panthers. And Cam Newton had a garbage game.
Yeah.
B, when
They were so good that year, too.
they were that team was by far the more talented team.
Yeah.
Had Cam Newton connected, and it wasn't play calling either. Cam overthrew
He was just having a bad game.
everybody.
Yeah, he had a bad game.
Once he started losing, first I was a little upset, and then I'm sitting here realizing I'm like, Peyton's about to win a Super Bowl on his last game.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, especially for a guy like Peyton, where you can't really hate Peyton. If you hate Peyton, you just stink as a person. Yeah. He's hilarious.
Well, that's my logic behind Tom, where people were like, "Screw Tom. Tom sucks. He's a system quarterback." You're telling me Andy Dalton could be Tom Brady? That's one argument. I don't buy this.
That's not why people hate Tom Brady. People hate Tom Brady because he
wins.
wins. Right.
Peyton he's never a cheater. Like, well,
Peyton
I mean,
never
if you
had
can show
that.
me actual evidence and tell me why this was illegal.
You can have evidence. Tom Brady likes a softer ball. Don't go down this route. He has smaller hands. He likes a deflated ball so he can grip the ball. But the question is, should that be illegal? Why does there have to be a PSI measurement?
And why did that influence that game so much? Apparently?
Right. That's the question.
Because so you're telling me that deflated ball destroyed you guys in the run game, the Colts,
right? That's stupid.
And the Ravens.
That's stupid. The only argument that should be had is, should there be a PSI range? Because there is a range.
Because even Rodgers has said he likes his overinflated.
Exactly. People with bigger hands
Yeah.
can throw the ball faster and more accurately with it overinflated.
Yeah.
People with smaller hands need it underinflated because they need to be able to grip the ball to throw it faster.
Yeah.
That's it. But so why can't I pick? Yeah. If I'm the quarterback, why can't I pick what I want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the only way that that's unfair is if the other team's quarterback doesn't get to pick.
Yeah.
Which of course they would. And then obviously if the ball's being kicked, it has to have a base PSI, because if one's lower than the other, the distance, the wind resistance, things like that changes.
Marquette King.
Exactly. But for a quarterback, why can't I?
It's a solid question.
Yeah.
And
why can't I decide?
Dude, if I want that thing to be rolled up into a ball that's on a football, why not?
It's not like I'm getting an ultimate advantage.
You're really not.
By throwing a paper ball.
You're not throwing it any farther. You're not throwing it any less. It doesn't make you more or less accurate. And it doesn't make it easier or harder for someone to catch the ball.
I think it makes it easier to throw, whether you're overinflated or underinflated, but I don't think it makes it any easier to do any other part.
Yeah.
Catching it doesn't change. And I can still make a bad pass.
You can still throw it
with a perfect football.
Yeah.
Right. And the softer or harder ball is not going to dictate how easily you catch it.
Yeah.
Except for unless you're
Odell.
Bad
hands. Or yeah. Odell's got nasty.
If Odell grips that thing,
he's never dropping it.
It's game. He's never going to drop that. Or Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole, the nastiest man in football, who's not named Odell Beckham.
No one can tell.
No
one can tell if I'm staring at the mic.
He's staring at it like Keelan Cole's right there.
That catch is so filthy.
Do you want to get into picks? We got 10 minutes left.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I picked the Rams last night. I had them 33-24. You picked Minnesota. That was on the Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Check out the Facebook page. Plugging it again. Who you got? New York Jets at Jacksonville. I know you're gonna pick.
Yeah, but it's scary with how we played against Tennessee.
9 points is the reason you guys lost.
Yeah, I have to go Jacksonville just because the Jets are hot garbage. Because I don't think that Sam Darnold will be.
I don't think Sam Darnold's taking that defense apart. And that offensive line is going to get slaughtered.
Nope. Oh yeah, Ngakwe's got 4 sacks, easy. I think they put too much attention on Calais.
You think he's Defensive Player of the Week this week?
Ngakwe?
Yeah.
No.
I like him. I like him.
Probably Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. He's so nasty.
I mean, I don't care who you are. You're not.
You have to give it to other people in comparison to Khalil Mack.
Who's gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop him?
No one.
No one.
Barely anyone.
No one.
Yeah. I got the Jaguars 13-7.
I have 10-7.
10-7 Jacksonville.
I think 13 points for us is
a lot. Miami at New England.
I'm gonna go New England.
You are?
Yeah.
What do you got score-wise?
That your score, but opposite.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
23-17.
Yeah. This is tough for me to do, but I actually am going to pick against New England in this game. I think
you should.
And the reason why I say that is Miami actually has a solid defense, and their corners are not that bad. And they have Rashad Jones sitting over there. He's a beast of a safety.
I think you're right. I think you're right to pick against them. I think if our defense wasn't filthy, I would be in the same exact scenario with the Jets.
Yeah. I think Miami's just playing well. I think it'll be close, and I'd be happy if the Patriots win, of course, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this week. I think this is one of those surprise wins, even though the Dolphins are 3-0. People expect the Patriots to win.
How are the Dolphins 3-0?
They've had bad teams, I think. They played Oakland. Who else did they play?
Easy part of the schedule.
Who else did they play? I'm pulling that up for me.
Some Girl Scout team.
Wait, I already have the schedule pulled up. Let me just do it now.
Some. Remember on Dodgeball? We're playing Girl Scouts. And they get demolished by the Girl Scouts in Dodgeball.
Oh my god. We never finished Semi-Pro, though.
Oh, we gotta watch that.
Such a good movie. It's so funny.
It's perfect.
Such a bad rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know why.
It's just a funny movie.
It is.
Who did they play? They played the Jets week 2, and then week 1. Then week 1, who did they open against? I want to say they opened against.
They played garbage teams.
They do.
Yeah, but that means at the end of their schedule, unless Goodell is from Miami,
And they played the Titans the first week.
Okay, trash.
Yeah, so they've played no one really good yet.
Yeah, so they're gonna lose the Patriots.
Let's see. Next game up. You want to announce the next one?
Philadelphia, Tennessee. You have Philly.
I got Philly 20-10. I think Tennessee just looks so dysfunctional. Tennessee. Tennessee.
You ready for this?
You get Tennessee.
I got a tie, 17-17.
Another tie.
Mm-hmm.
The third tie in 4 weeks.
Yep, I think the Eagles' offense starts off good. I think the Tennessee Titans catch up, and then I think that they both start to taper off, and I think that they kind of scrub it up at 17.
Because Tennessee's defense can be really good, but it could also be bad. Let's see, Houston, Indianapolis. I'm gonna take Indy.
Good game.
I'm gonna take Indy. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna take Indy by a score, 28-21.
I have
follow Captain Andrew Luck on Twitter if you haven't already. It's one of the funniest accounts I think I've ever seen.
I have 17. Probably 7. No, 21.
Who?
21.
Who do you want to win?
21-13 Houston.
21-13 Houston. All right, let's see. Detroit at Dallas. Detroit, I think they're actually going to demolish Dallas.
Buffalo, Green Bay.
Now we'll get to it. Detroit.
We'll get to that?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Detroit, Dallas.
I'm going to take them 31-16 Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit puts in work. If Detroit doesn't put in work, I think that Dallas barely wins.
NFC player of the, at least player of that game, Kenny Galladay. I don't think they have anybody to cover him.
Nicholas Penninger can guard him.
All right, because we forgot about it. Buffalo at Green Bay. Why is this hard?
Why is this hard?
Because the Bills had one good week.
I like what you did. 21-10 Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what I got. 21-10 Green Bay. Tampa Bay at Chicago. This is actually a good game. Because Tampa Bay's defense... No, I think because Tampa Bay's offense is going to be decent. I think Chicago's defense is going to be really good. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think, is going to have not the best game he's had yet, but I think he's going to be solid.
I think Khalil Mack ends Fitzmagic.
Really?
Yeah,
by himself?
I think he starches him.
How many sacks do you think Khalil Mack gets?
3.
3?
3
Forced fumble?
3 and a good amount of knockdowns. 3.5 maybe.
I think Tampa Bay takes this one in overtime. I'm going to say 24-17 Tampa.
I'm going to say Tampa puts together almost nothing. I got 14-7 because the Chicago offense is also terrible.
It's going to be a low-scoring game for you. Cincinnati at Atlanta. I'm actually taking Cincy here.
Ooh, that's a good game.
I'm taking Cincy. Atlanta's offense, while it has looked solid, has not seemed to have been able... Except for against New Orleans. They had a really, really good game, actually. They've just been back and forth as to whether or not they want to play good football. I think Cincinnati has a solid defense. AJ Green has a game. Joe Mixon will be playing back this week, I believe.
Is Devontae Freeman back yet?
No. Tevin Coleman's been playing well, though. I don't think it discounts anything.
I have Atlanta.
You have Atlanta? All right.
Atlanta 21-14.
Seattle at Arizona. Arizona's actually just bad across the board.
Arizona is garbage. But the Seahawks are terrible, too.
I'm taking Seattle 23-6.
I like that number.
Cleveland at Oakland. I'll let you do this one. Because you see my pick.
I think, and I don't want this to be the answer, I think Oakland is going to pull it out. But I think it's very close, and I think it's sloppy. I think it's probably 21-20.
It's not like a rain sloppy game, just a sloppy, bad execution kind of game.
21.
Spider 2 wide banana all game.
I mean, how do you not? It's the perfect play. I think 21-20. I got a fourth final drive.
Yeah.
Non-success by Baker. I think they get a good final drive and they get shut down.
Oakland's been having a really rough go so far. I don't think their struggles get any better. I'm going to take Cleveland 23-13. Baker actually has a solid game against a bad Oakland defense. New Orleans at the Giants. This would have been a really high-scoring game 5 years ago, but Eli Manning has not looked good at all this season. I'm going to take New Orleans 40-21.
I agree with New Orleans. How do you pick the Jets over anybody? Or Giants?
Although I think Saquon Barkley has a game.
I like a 30-20.
30-20. Cool. Let's see. San Francisco at the LA Chargers.
Yeah,
this one's going to be
pretty
easy. Yeah, I'm taking the LA Chargers 35-9.
I don't know if they put up 35, but it's going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. This is a Sunday Night Football game on NBC.
Oh.
This is going to be good, but I don't think Baltimore's offense is that good to keep up. I think that Pittsburgh's going to walk in with some confidence. I got them taking it 31-17.
I think Pittsburgh also starts to catch their stride a little bit. I'd say probably about 28-14.
And the Monday Night Football game, wrapping it up, Kansas City at Denver. The only thing that's going to stop Mahomes is if he can't breathe.
Yeah,
And
I have a feeling he can breathe just fine.
Yeah, same.
What do you got, 38-13?
That's right. I got Kansas City 38-13. Who do you got?
I
know you got Kansas City.
I gotta go into the 40s. I got 42-21.
You think it'll be closer in the first half, second half?
I think Mahomes scores so quickly that his defense gets tired, and the Broncos find a way to
start putting up points.
Put up points.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening this week here on RadioFreeRadford.com. Thank you once again to Nicky P, Nicholas Penninger, for joining us in studio.
Nicky P himself.
That's right. Follow the Rines Report on Facebook. You can find our shows on YouTube when you search Tristan Blake Rines. That's R-I-N-E-S at the end of the name. I'd appreciate the subscribe. Have a lovely and a safe weekend, everyone. And up next, we have Keaton Alderman taking over the studio. So stand by. You have some more hot takes. Take it easy, guys.